This video is brought to you by my new album entitled Dougal's Treats. It's full of hummable melodies, bluesy riffs and the occasional bit of virtuoso flashy stuff as well. If you enjoy bluesy rock guitar with memorable tunes and solos that wail like a banshee, then check out the links in the description. The premium version includes all of the tabs for each tune, videos and jam tracks as well. Thanks for listening, now on with the show. Hello chaps, welcome once again to John Robson Guitar Tuition. As always, I do hope you're well. That was my morning warm-up jam from earlier today, and I'd just eaten breakfast when I recorded that, as you could probably tell by the state of my shirt. It's hard to say who's the messiest eater in this house. It's not the missus, but it's definitely either me or the dog. Anyway, I was employing a particular technique in that little solo there, which is, I find, often overlooked by many, shall we say, intermediate guitar players. I'm not going to say beginners, because for me a beginner is someone who's learning how to do basic chord changes, G to C and that sort of thing. But once you've got to the point where you are able to string a few licks together and put a solo into formation, then there is a thing that often gets missed, and it's best expressed by the phenomenon when you've probably experienced this yourself at some point. There's a really cool lick that you've learned from one of your favourite players, and it's taken you a while to figure it out, but finally it feels comfortable under your fingers and you want to include it in one of your own solos. And when you do, it just never seems to sound quite as potent or impactful as it did in the solo that you borrowed it from. And the reason for that is often timing. So that's what we're going to be talking about today, the art of timing, where to start a lick in terms of whereabouts in the rhythm and where not to. Here's some information.
Here is the explanation.
Okay, let's start with a little illustration of the power of timing and knowing whereabouts you are in relation to the rhythmic pulse of the music. We're going to hear now a simple, perhaps the simplest lick possible, played. It consists of just one note played twice, and I'm going to do it repeatedly. It sounds like this. And whilst there's nothing at all wrong with that, it hardly makes any sort of impact when you hear it. Let's hear the same thing again, but this time played with slightly different timing. And when I do this experiment with my students, most of them, if not all, the vast majority, shall we say, well, yeah, that one sounded somehow better. Let's hear it again with slightly different timing this time as well. Now, it's difficult to say whether that one sounds better or worse than the previous one, but I think we can all agree that that one and the one before it sounds better than the first one that we heard. And it's all to do with timing. I hope you'll agree that they sound better, sound stronger, more kind of engaging to listen to. And what was going on was on the first time, I was playing that single note, that D note at the 7th fret on the 3rd string. I was playing that on beats 1 and 2 of the bar. So if I just fire up a metronome, let me do that. Let's get it to the same speed as the track, which is 120 beats per minute. There we go. And set it to 4 beats per bar. There we go. So on the first one, I was playing the lick, and I'll just tap the tabletop on beats 1 and 2 of the bar, like this. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and so on. The second time, what I was doing was playing the 2 notes on beats 4 and beat 1 of the bar, like this. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, and so on. And on the third time, what I was doing was playing it on the and of beat 1 and the and of beat 2. So kind of 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 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 like that. So I think the moral of the story is don't start on beat 1. It sounds measurably and noticeably better if you start on either the I think of it as the left hand side of the bar line, reading from right to left, but basically starting before the beginning of the first bar, so starting on the count-in, a little pickup phrase as it's called, or starting slightly after beat 1. Starting on beat 1 can often sound a little bit plodding and pedestrian. Here's an example of that. Here's the first 8 bars of the solo that you heard earlier, played as you heard it earlier. Now let's hear that same performance again. All I've done is time shifted the backing track so that the licks, the same licks that you've just heard there, now begin on beat 1 of the first bar. And you'll hear it just sounds a lot weaker, I think. So hopefully that makes the case for, avoiding starting on beat 1. It's not a hard and fast rule. These things seldom or ever are. But just as a way of kind of thinking, just starting a little bit ahead of the bar or a little bit after the bar. So starting on beat 4 or starting on the and of beat 3 or starting on the and of beat 1. Just either advancing it or delaying it so that you're not starting on beat 1. Is often a good ploy, and it's just something that I find works. It's something that many people have to kind of struggle with for some reason. Well, I think the reason is because instinctively, when we're learning to play the guitar, there's the count in 1, 2, 3, 4, and then you begin on beat 1, and that can get really ingrained. But if you work with a metronome and get used to kind of knowing whereabouts you are in relation to the beat, then, as you heard earlier, even the simplest of simple licks can sound much stronger if you, as I say, offset it a little bit, either in advance, starting before the bar, or starting slightly after. So there you go, timing. That's a useful thing to know about, obviously, and now you know all about it, go away and have some fun with it. So hopefully that made some kind of sense, and as always, there is a full tab for the solo that we kicked off the video with in both Guitar Pro and PDF formats, along with a clip of me playing it, that explanation, and a jam track to play along with yourself. That's all up on my Patreon page. There's the address. Link in the description. As I'm sure you know by now, $3 or roughly £3 a month gets you access to all of these additional goodies that go along with these YouTube videos. And of course, a massive, massive thank you to everyone who supports me in that or any of the other ways, all of which are down there in the description. And that's pretty much it for today, folks. Hope you've enjoyed this little exploration of the power of timing, and if that's the case, please hit the subscribe button and the notification bell if you haven't already done so, and why not drop me a like as well while you're at it. And of course, don't forget the live stream every Friday 5 PM UK time, where we drink beer and we talk about whatever we talk about. It's a great way to kick off the weekend, and I'd love to see you there if you can make it. But for now, I'll bid you all a good day and say thank you so much for watching. Thank you for your time. Look after yourselves, folks. Stay well, stay safe, and above all, stay sane. Bye for now.